Good evening, friends. Welcome to the session. Good evening, Madam Harsha, Madam. Welcome to the our session. Today we have the topic approaches to teaching of English. That is, what are the different approaches while teaching in teaching learning process in a classroom. Nothing but it is called the behaviorism. So बच्चों को थोड़ा वो बिहेवियर मालूम होने के लिए और वो लोगों के एबिलिटी लेके हम क्लास में कैसे पढ़ाना और बच्चों कैसे तरीके से वो रिसीव करते इसके बारे में आप क्लास है टॉपिक के बारे में यू नो फ्रेंड्स ऑलरेडी शी इज द वर्किंग एज असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर इन MNR teacher training college at Kukatpalli. Welcome madam, welcome to the session and share your experiences regarding approaches to teaching of English. Thank you very much and I'm handing over the session to you madam. Dear trainees, please carefully listen of madam's session. After 30 minutes or 40 minutes, if she madam will ask anything, you can now then only you can reply. Otherwise, you can raise the hand so that we can recognize your hand and we'll ask you people what is your doubt or what is your query. So based on your query, so we will maximum we will try to resolve the problem. Thank you very much, madam. Please handle the session. Yeah.
So, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. So today, last topic was our from the same unit. I'm continuing this topic. This is behaviorism. So already we have studied in the psychology. So this is the main thing is these are nothing but the foundation of education. So we have studied about the behaviorism. So this will be covered in all the areas, all the subjects. It will be covered. And about behaviorism, so this is nothing but this theory is based on the stimulus response. So I think most of the people know the stimulus and the response. If you for this an example is if you pin your skin, what happens? Immediately you take it back.
Mummy, God. Mummy.
When you're pinning it,
yeah, mummy.
when you're pinning it, that is stimulus. And that is stimulus. When you're removing your hand back, that is nothing but the response. So here, a psychologist theory that claims all mental states can be reduced to statements of observation behavior. So all the mental state can be reduced by the what I said by the statement of observation, means we have to observe. So this is nothing but what we are doing in the classroom. We are observing their behavior and we are going to modify that behavior. So many experiments have been conducted in this. So first, the father of this behaviorism is Watson. So Watson has conducted many experiments on that, and in Pavlov also. Already we have studied in the 8th class. I think 8th class syllabus we have about the Pavlov. They have done the experiment on the dog. So when the dog, what he did, he used to put the tuning fork for the sound of a bell. So whenever the bell, he used to ring the bell when used to provide the food for the dog. So by observing the sound of the bell, dog used to salivate. So like that. So daily dog was habituated to it. So one day, and he used to collect the saliva also. The quantity of saliva also he used to collect. So later on, what he done? One day he didn't kept the food in front of the dog. Still, he observed that the quantity of saliva was the same when it was compared to the previously what he was collected. So this is nothing but according to this, what he has given for this theory, that is classical conditioning. He has conducted, means whatever they are going to habituate, means if for us also, for example, if we talk about the tamarind, how we respond, just our mouth waters. If we talk about the raw mango, our mouth waters. So this is nothing but it is a type of classical conditioning, means already we are habituated to it, means we are thinking about it tamarind and our mouth is getting water. So these are the examples of the classical conditioning. So he has given in this. So then John J. Watson, he has conducted the experiment on classical conditioning. So his conditioning is also known as stimulus response. So even B.F. Skinner also, he has also conducted the experiment. So his experiment is known as operant conditioning or instrument conditioning. So B.F. Skinner talked about the reinforcement and punishment. So that also I'll explain to you. So according to this, John, okay, he was an American psychologist, J.B. Watson, born in 1878 and died in, why? Because he is the father of behaviorism. So I want to tell in somewhat in detail. So, and died in 1958. So known as father of behaviorism, and played an important role in developing behaviorism. He played an important role in developing behaviorism. So he conducted an experiment. His experiment is known as Watson, known for the Little Albert experiment. The Little Albert experiments. So later on, I'll send the PDF also. So with that, you will be clear about it. So the Little Albert experiment here, he kept the soft toys in front of the kid. Soft toy is a white color, what we can say, mouse. So whenever when the boy has seen to the mouse, he felt happy. The infant, the boy was it was a toddler, the stage of toddler. So it felt happy when seeing the rat. Next time, what he did, he was ringing the bell. Ringing the bell means sound, hard sound. It was producing the hard sound whenever he was seeing the rat. So at that time, when the boy used to see that rat, it felt somewhat frightened. So like that, next bell was ringing, the hard sound was ringing, and the rat also appeared. The white color rat was appeared. Then whenever the boy used to see white things, he was frightened by seeing those things. So with this, he said that it is nothing but observe the stimulus generalization. It is nothing but stimulus generalization. Means whenever the kid used to see the white things, he used to get frightened. So that is there. So according to his experiment. Then educational implications also I'll explain later on. Then Edward Thorndike, he has explained, so three laws are famous about the Edward Thorndike. What he has given: law of readiness. So always we have to be ready. So whenever sir calls me, I'll be ready. But yesterday I was not there. So law of exercise and law of effect. These are the three laws given by the Thorndike. So he talked about the connectionism between the stimulus and response. Connectionism between the stimulus and response. So in stimulus, he has given about the learning, and response he has given about the forgetting. So in this, learning is nothing but the stamping in. The stimulus is nothing but learning. So learning is nothing but stamping in. Mean we are connecting to our neural system, nervous system, to our mind. So forgetting is also, it is connected to our nervous system only. What we are doing, we are forgetting. If I ask today what you have had in your lunch, so today you will say what you had tomorrow, yesterday. Then you can't say. If day before yesterday, if I ask, you can't say. Why? Because we will be forgetting about it. So he has talked about the connectionism of mind. So that is neural connection, he said, who Thorndike. And in law of readiness, so this is also called the law of action tendency. Law of readiness is also called as law of action tendency. So here, example, our classroom also, if suddenly if sir or madam calls us to take some to give a micro teaching example, we take one skill in the micro teaching, so we are ready to it. We have to be ready for that, doing that. So why? Because when so opportunity never comes. So we have to be ready with all these things. So we have to utilize it. So that is nothing but the preparation of an action, preparation of our mind. So here, organism will learn only when he or she is physically and mentally ready for it. So
Yes.
they have to be ready for preparing all these things. So every time we have to be ready for facing all these things. So that is nothing but the law of readiness, and it is also called as law of action tendency. Okay. Next time, next I am going to ask the questions on all this. Then next one is law of exercise. So in law of exercise, okay, in law of exercise. Next one is law of exercise. This is the second law. So three laws are famous in the Thorndike, and many laws, law of use, law of disuse are there, but we'll discuss only three. So it has given in our syllabus also about three. So law of exercise here in English. So vocabulary. So how they learn the vocabulary? By drill and practice. So making the people drilling them means the whatever the difficult words they are there, they're used to pronounce after the teacher, whatever the teacher is pronouncing in the classroom. So drill and practicing is given. So here in increasing learning efficiency, what we'll do, well, we will make them to drill and practice. So that is comes under the law of exercise. And for memorizing purposes, in mathematics also the formulas are we have to memorize. So we can't apply that and this for this. So that is memorizing. Okay. So that comes under the law of exercise. So here in English, vocabulary should be drilled in the classroom. Why? Because they have to frame the structures, new vocabulary should be used, and they have the grasping power more than us. Why? Because their stage is for development only. So they mentally they are fresh mind. So they'll come with the fresh mind. So we have to give many words in the classroom, so that should be put in their real life situation also. Whatever they are using the words in the classroom, they have to put in the real life situation. It should correlate with the reality. That should be done. Then only they'll improve the English, what target language. So why we are lagging? Because of this only. Why? Because we are using many words are used in English, but we are not putting in the correct structure. So that is also a drawback here. So law of exercise will help them. Means drilling and practicing and putting in the structures. These all will help us. The next law is law of effect. So here, the greater of satisfaction, the strong motive to learn will be there. So in law of effect means how effectively we are going to learn, how we are putting the interest. This all will be there in law of effect. How we are behaving, how we are going to adopt all these things, how we are working on that to get satisfaction. So that comes under the law of effect. Then we'll talk about the B.F. Skinner. So why? Because only the introduction part they have given, so they are not given the in detail if we see our syllabus in English. Okay, so B.F. Skinner, he has given the new concept that is nothing but operant conditioning. Operant conditioning or instrumental conditioning he has given. Operant conditioning or instrumental conditioning. So he called Pavlov classical conditioning as respondent conditioning. So these you will be getting bits. Okay, he called Pavlov classical conditioning as respondent conditioning. So in this he has here in the natural setting he has said clinical setting. He discussed about the clinical setting. So that is nothing but the behavioral modification in clinical setting. Means example what we can take our classroom. So that is nothing but a clinical setting only. Means they are sitting on the benches, how they are behaving, how they are sitting accordingly, the seating arrangement they can say, or how they are without doing any noise. That all comes under this. So that is as example I am giving. So that is clinical setting he discussed about. Then next he discussed about the teaching. Teaching is nothing how we are going to manage our classroom through our teaching, by our teaching. So in teaching he said about the classroom management. So classroom management means here not only if she is subject expert, he or she is subject expert. But if she or he couldn't manage the class, then also it, teaching is not good. So here they have to, means they are not efficient. Why? Because they are not going to handle the people there. So in so the second point he has discussed about the teaching mode. It means classroom management should be there. They have to grasp the attention of the students towards them, and they have to observe the behavior of the students by interacting by various methods they have to use. Then next one is so clinical setting asset. Next one teaching asset. Then third one is instructional development. So how the instructional development, how the program instruction is going on. It is correlating to your topic. It is relevant to your topic. How you are framing the structure. It is related to your topic or not. That they are given in this. So that is program instruction. If we talk about this, so in the history class, most of the people they'll go to the olden days and the never ends. It never ends. Sorry for that. But still because so it should be correlate. What we are studying here is it should correlate to the subject, and it should get somewhat idea about it, what they are discussing about. That thing should be done. Then uh, learning process according to behaviorism, they have given the stimulus will be there, then organism, and the response. These are the main things according to the behaviorism. They are given stimulus, then organism, and the response. So here they have discussed about the two things. This reinforcement is also of two types: positive reinforcement and the negative reinforcement. Okay, and he has discussed about the punishment also. I think Skinner have discussed. Okay, reinforcement. He has discussed about the two things here: the positive reinforcement and the negative reinforcement. So, example for the positive reinforcement
Awards.
is if if uh, if a kid is getting a good marks, so what the parents will offer some articles. No, sir, not this. Now they want mobile phones. The days are gone. Now they want mobile phone. That's suddenly they want. So parent will be offering mobile phone. So if next time he is getting less marks, so what the parent will do? They'll take back the mobile phone, and they'll be saying that I'll I'll give you back if you complete this homework, or I'll give you back if you get good marks in this assessment. They'll be saying. So that is something with the positive reinforcement. So it will be both side, means it just negative means taking it back. Okay, so that will be. Then other experiences also will be there. If example for that, if I want to go somewhere, means if I went to market, if I get many articles within the less amount, so I feel somewhat means the person, unknown person, is giving more things in less amount, then I'll take it positively. Then in next day again, if I go to the market, so with the more amount I'll get the less things, then I doesn't want to buy anything from that person. So those are some of the examples. If other things also, other if I want to go in the bus, so if I don't have if I don't have change to take the ticket, so if the conductor is scolding me, so that is also an example of a negative reinforcement. I don't want to go with the bus. Next time I don't prefer for the bus. So that is also in an example for the negative reinforcement. So these all will be this. So positive reinforcement and the negative reinforcement. Then next we'll discuss about the application in language learning. How these are applied in the language learning. Okay. In 1950s and 60s, the learning theory of behaviorism underpinned the use of audiolingual method. audiolingual method on language teaching with three crucial learning elements. So those are stimulus, response, reinforcement. So audiolingual method is it. So the classroom environment is arranged with mimicry, memorization, and pattern drills. So if they are saying about the cat say meow meow, the dog say about some mimicry. So then memorization. Memorization is nothing but what we are making them to do. The drill and practice we are making, or pattern deals we are making them to do. So that in audiolingual method, it preferred three things. Okay. Then Brook, BROOK. He proposed some various pattern drills used in audiolingual method. He has proposed various pattern drills, so that we'll discuss here. He has discussed about the repetition. So repetition is nothing but whatever teachers say in the classroom, they'll repeat after the teacher. So here we are improving their pronunciation. Okay, so that is repetition. So they are repeating after the teacher, or they are repeating after someone else, whoever are taking maybe CR. Okay, that is the first one. So he has given the 12 components in it. First one is repetition. Then next one is inflection. So inflection is nothing but the depends on the mood of the teacher. It depends on the mood of the person. So here mood is nothing but the tone. The tone. If you're in anger, how your mood will be, how your tone will be, you will be uh, somewhat hardly you'll be harshly you'll be speaking, or somewhat hardly you'll be speaking, or stressing. So depends on. So this is inflection. Then next one is replacement. So replacement is nothing but maybe renewal, we can say replacing, or maybe substitution. Substitution we can say. So substituting. So that he has discussed according to Brook. I am saying. First one is repetition, second one is inflection, third one is replacement, fourth one is restatement. Restatement is if you are given any statement, again your other one is stating in another manner. So that is restatement. So other statement, if they are giving other statement, that is nothing but the restatement. Then completion. Completion is nothing but example for this. That is half story is given, they're completing. Half story is said by teacher orally, or completed by the other people. Example for that. Okay, completion has discussed. Then transposition. So transposition is nothing but again changing of the position. Changing of the position, or again we can say substitution. Okay, substitution is nothing but changing the position. So from here to there, so changing of the position. So that is transposition. Okay. Uh, Example for that, if we take the UKG books, your pre-primary books, so it will be clear in that. So if it is that is a boy, is that some other, is that a boy? So that is nothing but changing of the position of that. Here I have given the example of that. Okay, so that is comes under the transposition. Okay, that is also nothing but an example of substitution only. Then expansion. Expansion, this we are habituated. So if someone says something to us, we go on expand. Okay, we won't. So that is nothing but expansion. Means adding some new words to it. That is called expansion. Then contraction. Contraction means shortening it. Okay, shortening the sentence. That is called contraction. Contraction. Then transformation. Okay. Okay. Transformation. Okay, someone is reading out, sir. ABCD. Okay. Transformation.
Yes.
Uh,
Please continue, madam.
okay. Okay. Transformation. Here, transformation is nothing but how the simple words or simple sentence is going to convert into the complex sentence, or complex sentence are going to convert into the simple sentences. That is called transformation. So till now what we have discussed: repetition, inflection, replacement, restatement, completion, transposition, expansion, contraction, and transformation.
Please once again repeat, madam.
Sir.
Please once again repeat slowly, madam. Sir, they are able to write it properly, madam. Please. Once again.
Okay. So repetition in, so repeating after the teacher, that is called repetition. Okay. Inflection, it is nothing but our pitch, our stress, how we are putting, our tone, our mood depends on that. So that is inflection. Okay. INFLECTION. Okay. Next one, replacement. Replacement is nothing but substitution, like means we are replacing. So that is replacement. Example, if you collect, so it will be exercise to you also. So if you come take the examples, if you collect from different sources, material, whatever you have at home, so you'll be practice for these exercises. Okay. Then restatement. Restatement is nothing but if I pass some statement, again you are modifying it, again you are passing other statement, that is restatement. Completion. Completion is nothing but the finishing. If I say half of the sentence, it will be completed by you. If I say half of the story, it will be completed by other person. That is nothing but completion. Okay. Then transposition. Transposition is nothing but the changing of the position. So for this, I have given the example of the UKG books. If you see the UKG books now, you will be pre-primary books. So it will be better to use for the improvement of these things. So this is a girl. Is that a girl? So is this is a girl? Some words will be there. So here, what we are doing, the position of this or that, what we are using is changing. So that is called transposition. Okay. Then expansion. Expansion is nothing but we are going to expand. So example, when our household domestic violence is because of expansion only. So whatever the Sasuma will say for us, I will expand and will complain to our husband. So those are the examples for the expansion. And the contraction. Contraction is nothing but the shortening. Okay, shortening the things. Okay, example for this is apostrophe also. We use couldn't, could not, we won't write. Couldn't we write? So we are, so that is nothing, that is an example for the contraction. Okay, then transformation. Transformation here is from simple to complex sentence, from complex to simple sentence. So that is transformation. Next one is integration. Next one is integration. So in integration, combining of two or more things. So that is called integration. So in this example for this is creative expressions comes under this. So creative expression already we have studied in academic standards. Academic standards, one of the academic standard is creative expression. So in this essay writing, maybe storytelling. Okay, this all comes under this. Integration means combining two or more things and writing or producing orally. So that comes under the integration. Then rejoinder. Rejoinder is nothing but quickly replying. Means how are you? How are you? I say. So then you will be replying me fine. So this all comes under the rejoinder. So then next one is restoration. This is the 12th one, restoration. Here, the act or the process of returning something to its original condition. So, if we have makes certain changes, again we are making them to how it was previously. So again we are changing it to how it was previously. So that is nothing but the restoration.
Example, car, buy the car, and we will.
These are the things. So next we have the topic about, sir, other topic is there. If you want me to go with the other topic, so I'll go ahead with that. Okay, falling tone, raising and falling tone depends on the mood of the speaker. कैसा रहता, मैं गुस्से में रहूँ नहीं समझो तो कैसा रहता, मेरा टोन अलग रहता, अगर मेरा मूड अच्छा है तो मेरा टोन अलग रहता। ये सब उसमें आता है, इन्फ्लेक्शन में आता। और
ओके मैम।
इसमें वॉटसन का एक्सपेरिमेंट क्या था, तो एक चूहे को प्रोड्यूस करता, वो व्हाइट कलर के चूहे को एक बच्चे के सामने रखता, रखे तो क्या होता, वो खुश हो जाता देख के, चूहे को देख के। नेक्स्ट टाइम क्या करता है, वो चूहे को रखे वक्त गट बेल कुछ साउंड करता, वो साउंड से ही बच्चा डर जाता। ओके, डर जाता। तो जब भी तो व्हाइट चूहे को रखने से क्या होता, तो जो भी व्हाइट चूहे को देखता, जो व्हाइट चीजों को देखता, वो बच्चा डरेवा रहता। ओके, तो अपन जैसा बच्चे में आदत डाल रहे, तो ये तो वैसा मतलब ये रीइंफोर्स कर रहे, तो वैसा वो ले रहा उसको। तो कौन सी भी चीज उन्हें व्हाइट चीजें जब भी देखता ना, उसको डर होने लगा। तो ये उसका क्या है, स्टिमुलस जनरलाइजेशन, मतलब ये वो उससे वो एक्सपेरिमेंट से ये साबित किया कि उन्हें जो भी चीजें देख रहा ना, डर जा रहा बच्चा, व्हाइट कलर की चीज जो
हाँ मैम, समझ गए।
समझिए। ओके, और क्या और कुछ डाउट्स?
Good evening, ma'am.
गुड इवनिंग मैम।
Ma'am, what is the meaning of reinforcement?
रीइंफोर्समेंट मतलब जो अच्छे काम है चूप कराना उसको, ओके, उसको रीइंफोर्समेंट बोलते हैं। अब उसको राइटिंग स्किल डेवलप कराना है तो उसको चूप शाबाशी देना, जिससे वो मोटिवेट होके और अच्छा सा लिख सके। ओके,
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
मतलब
मतलब मैम मोटिवेट करना।
फिर वो अलग हो जाता मीनिंग। रीइंफोर्समेंट अब उसके अंदर एक अच्छी स्किल है, उसको वो डेवलप करते रहना, उसको वैसा करा करा के, तो इसको रीइंफोर्स कर रही।
जी
ओके,
मैम।
तो
जी
वो उन्हें करना बोलते तो क्या करना, अपन मोटिवेट करना उसको,
जी
वो अपना रीइंफोर्समेंट होगा। और okay, ask if you have any doubts, you can ask, you can discuss with me freely, you can discuss.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम मैम।
वालेकुम सलाम तस्लीम।
मैम ये 12 कंपोनेंट्स आप जो बोले ना मैम, तो ये टीचिंग मेथड में अप्लाई करना मैम।
ऑडियोलिंगल मेथड में, ऑडियोलिंगल मेथड मतलब क्या है, वो टीचिंग मेथड में अप्लाई करना है, तो दैट इज नथिंग बट ऑडियोलिंगल मेथड बोलते हैं, मतलब सुनना और बोलना, लैंग्वेज डेवलपमेंट के लिए यूज करना है ये पूरे 12 मेथड्स।
जी मैम, शुक्रिया।
तो ये क्या करते हैं अपन पहले, मतलब स्टोरी बोलने लगाना, राइम्स पढ़ने लगाना क्लासरूम में, तो एक्शन के साथ करने लगाना। तो वो एक्शन के साथ करने लगने से वो क्या करते हैं, वो रिपीट ही कर रहे हैं ना अपने आफ्टर द टीचर, तो वो सब करने से वो क्या होता है, डेवलप होते हैं। और वो जो एक्शन करते हैं ना, तो रिलेट करते हैं, अरे ये वर्ड इसके लिए है, ये एक्शन के लिए है, ये रिलेट करना सीखते हो। ओके, okay, if anyone have the doubt, you can ask now.
मैम लॉ ऑफ इफेक्ट यानी कि मैम हम कुछ हासिल करना मैम।
लॉ ऑफ इफेक्ट तो स्ट्रॉन्ग मोटिव रखना हासिल करने के लिए, उसके लिए करते रहना। तो एक्सरसाइज में प्रैक्टिस कर रही तो या मोटिव रखना, तो सेटिस्फैक्शन मिले जैसा उसको, तो लॉ ऑफ इफेक्ट के अंदर आता है। ये पूरा अपन फर्स्ट ईयर में साइकोलॉजी में पूरे कवर हुए। ओके, साइकोलॉजी में पूरे
हाँ मैम, ये लर्निंग थ्योरीज।
लर्निंग थियरीज है, आईसीटी में है। ओके, और एक क्या, स्किनर बीएफ स्किनर भी क्या ऑपरेंट कंडीशनिंग के बारे में बोली ना इसमें, क्लिनिकल सेटिंग, टीचिंग एंड इंस्ट्रूमेंटल डेवलपमेंट। तो वो किस पे एक्सपेरिमेंट करा, एक चूहे पे, एक बॉक्स में चूहे को रख दिया, चूहे के ऊपर एक्सपेरिमेंट, जब भी वो लीवर दबाता उसके सामने खाना आ जाता, तो नेक्स्ट टाइम और एक बार शॉट भी लग जाता उसको, चूहे को जब खाना प्रोड्यूस होता कभी शॉट लगता, तो वो नेगेटिव रीइंफोर्समेंट हो गया, तो वो डरने लगता वो लीवर दबाने से। और पॉजिटिव इन्वेस्टमेंट क्या है, उसको जब लीवर दबा रहा उसको ऑटोमेटिकली खाना आ जा रहा, तो वो पॉजिटिव हो गया। जब उसको शॉक लग रहा वो नेगेटिव हो गया। तो स्किनर उसके ऊपर एक्सपेरिमेंट करा और पनिशमेंट के ऊपर भी करा, रीइंफोर्समेंट एंड पनिशमेंट। रीइंफोर्समेंट भी जैसा पॉजिटिव एंड नेगेटिव है, पनिशमेंट भी पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव है। तो पॉजिटिव मतलब जो मिस्टेक मान के सीख जाना, फिर दोबारा नहीं करना मिस्टेक। ओके, नेगेटिव ले लेना मतलब वो बिल्कुल ही खराब हो जाता बच्चा। तो पनिशमेंट को इम्फोसिस नहीं दिया, इम्पोर्टेंस नहीं दी, पनिशमेंट ही बाद में पूरा प्रूव कर दिया कि पनिशमेंट से कुछ भी नहीं सीखता बच्चा, वो पूरा रॉन्ग है पनिशमेंट, रीइंफोर्समेंट को ही लेना चाहिए बोल के लास्ट में स्किनर वही बोल। सो पनिशमेंट से बच्चे कुछ भी नहीं सीखते बोलते वो, इसलिए कभी भी अब टीचर क्लासरूम में जाते कभी भी स्टिक नहीं लेके जाना और बड़ा पनिशमेंट नहीं देना है, खाली रीइंफोर्समेंट करना है, उसके आदतों को अपन ही सुधारना है। तो ये क्या है, स्ट्रेटेजीज जो अपन डिस्कस कर रहे थे लास्ट क्लास में, कैसा था, स्ट्रेटेजीज आर नथिंग बट द वे ऑफ हैंडलिंग द पीपल। अब मैं ऐसा कर रही, मतलब ये स्ट्रेटेजी है, उसको डेवलप कैसा करना है, उसकी रीडिंग स्किल कैसा डेवलप करना, मतलब उसको पहले अलग से बुला के अकेले में पूछना बच्चे को, बाद में क्यों मतलब ग्रुप में वो लोग आंसर नहीं करते, हेसिटेट करते, क्यों बोलते टीचर इंसल्ट करते वो। सो इज देयर, okay, next to this, so as we have completed this about the behaviorism, okay, so not much, so because only introduction they have given in this, because already we have studied in psychology and in ICT also we have studied about all these things. Okay, now structural approach is there. So structural approach, structure is nothing but how we frame. So we have discussed about the semantics, we have discussed about the phonemes, and we have discussed about the the sentence, how they will frame by using the different words. So how you are going to improve this structural approach, how you are going to approach this is nothing but by using the drill and practice by orally if they want to. So English is nothing but the language is nothing but it is expressed orally. So they are given the importance on spoken form. So even in the creative expression for that for orally presentation they have allotted the marks. So why? Because this is nothing but a child can write better, but they can't express their feeling because they are not getting the opportunity in the classroom to frame the sentences. Whatever they know, they are not expressing. They are not going to put the sentences in front of the whole classroom. So they are hesitating. So here we have to develop all these things in the students. So that how you will develop by taking the substitution table in the classroom. So substitution table is nothing but example for that is so it is a tabular form. It is a tabular form. So in the tabular form, a teacher will be writing and preparing in the chat. So they substitute. Substitute means therefore she. Okay, I'll give the example also. He like mango. So like I have given. Okay, I'll be showing you. So it is visible or I don't know. Even I have the this also. He like mango. Okay, she likes mango. They like mango.
those
like,
yes.
well, so this is nothing but the substitution table. So if you prepare this and you'll take to the classroom, so they'll be framing the structure. So from this is nothing but when you are prepared with all these things. Means
Instead
this is
of,
the
ma'am, instead of mango, they can say instead of apple, mango, you can write apple, custard apple. So,
yeah.
so many, we can put so many things there.
things.
Yeah, good.
So this is the simple sentence I have given to make you understand. So like that you can take the compound sentences. So with that they'll try to frame the structure. So whatever they are telling you, he like mango, you write down on the board. Okay, well, how the student will feel? This I have said, that structure was said by me. They will be feeling happy. Okay, whatever they are uttering, whatever they are saying in the classroom, if you write put on the board, they feel happy and they try to say more words. So like that you are developing the vocabulary, and then like that you are developing the structures in the students. Okay, that is nothing but the structural approach. So in the written material more we have, but sir, in next class we'll discuss. Sir. So I want to give about what is the structural approach. Means we are discussing in many classes how it is framed, how the pronunciation should be. Why? Because many words are there in English. CH means they'll be saying about ka and cha. Many things are there. How they'll develop all these things? By making them pronounce in the classroom itself, by making them differences. So that should be how they are going to frame. Again, it should be put in the grammatical order also. Slowly teacher is making them to frame in the grammatical order. Okay, by following all these things. So here subject, verb and object, this is how we are adding it. Okay, like that they are going to develop. So that is nothing but the structural approach.
ट्रेनिस अभी तक जो मैडम बात कर रहे हैं ना क्लासरूम अप्रोचेस ऑफ इंग्लिश देयर इज नथिंग बट बिहेवियरलिज्म in the classroom. So according to behaviorism, there are so many psychologists did their experiments on the basis of their animals and something. So based on those theorems, we have to take the essence and we have to apply in the classroom situation. So please once again go through next video so that you can access the video and you can conclude that. So thank you Harsha ji for a wonderful session. Really, it is a very useful for the classroom situation. Nowadays, it is a very essential for classroom implication also. So thank you very much, madam and trainees. Now I'm the closing session. Thank you very much.
So thank you, sir. I thank you, sir, for giving this opportunity. So especially for Ramachari, sir.
Sure, madam. No. Yeah.